my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a brand new palette. Now, Violet Voss is not the most well-known of brands. It's not like your ColourPop, your Urban Decay, your Too Faced, but you can find it at Sephora. Their palettes are a little bit more on the expensive side, but in my opinion, they're worth it. I think the palettes are really good. I have quite a few palettes from Violet Voss. In fact, I actually did a review of their Sugar Crystals palette about a year back, which I will link below. But yeah, in today's video, I have their newest palette, and I'm probably gonna butcher this name, so forgive me if I do. Sakura Blossom? Yes, that. And this does retail for $42, and I have not opened it yet. Still got the sticker on it, so we are gonna look at it together. I mean, I did see it on the website. From what I could tell, the palette just has like a lot of pink shadows in it, so very nice. I mean, honestly, this is probably more of a spring palette than a summer palette, but whatever, we're not gonna split hairs. Do you like my knife? Okay, so the inside packaging looks very similar to the outside packaging. It's actually identical, so I'm just gonna check that. And the palette does look like this. Hopefully it's not broken. Ooh, yes. This is like right up my alley. Oh, look at that. That is so beautiful. Look at all those pinks. Okay, I have a quick confession. So I probably own like the same shade of pink 10 times over. But whenever I see that same shade in a palette, I'm like, yes, I need to have this eyeshadow palette. It's so pretty. I love that pink. So that's probably a huge reason why I love this palette, because I just love the pink shades. So you do get 18 eyeshadows in this palette, and it looks like 8 of them are matte, which really isn't bad because you've got some nice transition colors over here. You got a nice base color over here. So I really think that you could get a full look from this palette. Most of your looks are going to be very pink, so you'll probably have a lot of similar looks, but you can also mix it up too with some of these brown shimmers over here if you wanted to. So there's always that option. So I'm really excited to play with this palette. I have no idea what look I want to do, but I will figure it out. So I'm just gonna zoom you on in and we're gonna play. By the way, I'm so sorry. I know my face has this like sheen on it. It's not highlight, it's not oil, it's sweat. It's like 90 degrees in my house. I don't have AC. I have bright bulbs shining in my face. So we're just gonna have to deal with this together. I'm gonna start off by taking this Blossom shade in the corner and just putting it all over my lid. I do like the fact that you get a little pretty mirror in here with this little flower detailing around the edge. I've really come to appreciate mirrors in palettes. By the way, I have a question for you guys. I don't usually wear eyeshadow primer in my videos just so you can see how the shadows perform on their own, but would you actually prefer if I start doing that? I don't have a problem with it. I can totally do that. It's up to you what you would like to see. Okay, so that shadow did a good job of just evening out my skin tone color, so that's good. Next, for the crease, I think I'm just gonna take this Full Bloom color right here. It's sort of like a coral pink color. Oh wow, that is pigmented. Ah, you see what I mean? I just love Violet Voss. Oh wow, that is really good. Oh god. Wow. You guys, Violet Voss is not talked about enough in my opinion. So it's got the pigmentation, but can it blend? Ooh. Yes, yes it can. Wow. By the way, I'm using ColourPop eyeshadow brushes. How do we feel about them? I feel like they're decent, but they're not as soft as I would like. What are your thoughts? Next, I'm just gonna take this fuchsia color, Wild, and put it in the outer V. Oh my gosh. That is nice. Let me tell you, I've been working with some eyeshadow palettes lately that have not blown me away. And this just feels like a breath of fresh air. It just feels so easy to work with. Yes, Violet Voss, just take my money. Okay, one thing that I do notice, which I was kind of expecting to be honest, is that the pinks are kind of very similar in shade. Like, you see what I mean? Like, the pink in my crease looks pretty much the same as the pink in my outer V. So, but keep in mind, you do have a lot of eyeshadows in this palette, and there are some that are very different from others. So to have just a couple that look kind of the same doesn't really bother me. I mean, it is a pink palette, so I'm just dying to take this glittery bubblegum pink color called Petals, and that is just going to go all over the lid. It would probably look really great wet. Okay, so when you have more glittery shadows like that petal shadow, that's usually a time where I would take a sponge tip applicator, maybe wet a little bit, and put it on the lid, because I think that just really helps bring out the pigmentation and glitter. People scoff at using sponge tip applicators, but honestly, I think it's just as good as using a finger without having to stick your finger into your shadow and get bacteria. You know what I'm saying? I would be using a sponge tip applicator right now, but I don't have any that are clean. I'm just going to take this Sakura shade and just place it in the middle of my lid. Now I'm going to go in with this champagne glitter, bubbly, and just use that as a highlight. I do still have a little bit of Sakura on the brush, so it's probably going to be like a pinky gold highlight. Now finally, just to top off the look, I'm going to take Festival and just line my lower lash line. Oh, wow. Okay, so there you have the finished look. I look a little bit like a zombie because honestly, pink shades are not the most flattering on me, but I love a good pink. So my final thoughts on this palette is it is super pretty. The pigmentation is there. They blend really nicely. I'm not seeing much fallout, so that's always really nice. Just a couple of downsides is that some of the pinks do look very similar once you have them on the eye, but honestly, if you pull in some of these shimmer shades over here, some of these browns over here, I think you won't really have that problem. It's just I stuck to just right over here, and I use like all the pink shades, so yeah, it's probably gonna look a little similar on the eyes. The glitter was just a little bit hard to work with. However, like I said, if you take a sponge tip applicator or even your finger if you wanted to and just patted that glitter on, I really don't think you would have a problem with that shade. But overall, I actually really like this palette. Like I said, I just love Violet Voss eyeshadow palettes. I think they're really good. The quality is there. Is definitely worth $42. So there you have it. There's my review. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope my sweaty highlight look did not deter you from subscribing. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day and bye.